Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. We're in the Psychology of Eating podcast, and I'm with Raelene today. Welcome, Raelene.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. I love your name. It's so unusual. And I know you've seen the podcast before. For anybody who's a first-time listener, Raelene and I are meeting for the first time. And we get to have a session together and see if we can make some good things happen. So if you can get whatever you wanted with food and body, Raelene, what would that be for you?
If I could get whatever I wanted, it would just be to be settled in a way of eating that works for my body and works for me, and stops that chatterbox in my head that, derails me whenever I sort of feel great about what I'm doing. For some unknown reason, I talk myself out of it, or I go off plan, and I'd just be consistent with a clothing size, so I would invest in myself a bit better. And yeah, that's what I'd really like to have happen.
So does your weight go up and down?
Yeah, pretty much.
How much?
Only by about 20 kilos, but.
And are you looking to lose weight then at this time?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
How much would you like to lose?
I'm not sure what it is in American pounds, but I'd like about 40 kilos. I think I need to lose.
And when was the last time you were 40 kilos less?
Probably before I had my children, or after I had my children. I bounced back okay, but yeah, I'm now heavier than I was when I was pregnant with my children. So I definitely want to get back to that.
So how long ago was that last?
Probably about 15 years ago.
15 years ago. How old are you now?
I'm 46.
So what do you tell yourself as you see, okay, so this weight came on and kind of some comes, some goes. Why do you think the weight fluctuates? What do you tell yourself?
It's really odd. Like, I'll be great on a plan for 3 months and I'll think, oh yeah, I've got this down pat now. This is great. This is how it's going to be. And then just for no reason, or, I might be out, or I might not be able to stick to plan or whatever. And then that's it. It's sort of, well, off I go. And then the next day I think, oh, I'll start tomorrow. That old I'll start tomorrow. And then I think, oh, I'll start the next day. Oh, I haven't got this, or conditions aren't right at the moment. And then I just have this constant debate, this constant thinking about food and eating in my head. And I guess I exhaust myself with the thinking about it too.
Yes. So when was the first time that you noticed that I want to lose weight?
Oh, that was when I was 11.
And how did you get that idea in your mind? Did somebody tell you you needed to lose weight?
Yeah.
Who told you?
So I was a dancer, and I was conscious. I think I was about year 5. So in year 5, I was 10 years old. In my primary school classroom, I knew I was the biggest girl, because back then they used to weigh kids for their report card. So the teacher would put the scales at the front of the room. Every kid would line up, they'd jump on. And I still remember the reaction of the kids, oh, how heavy she is. And then I would go to dancing lessons, and I was quite competitive. Like, I was in the state and Australian championships. And I remember my teacher, she pulled up my top and grabbed my belly and sort of said in front of the class, "You'd definitely win if you'd get rid of this."
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, you get over it, but you think, geez, wish that didn't happen, but it did.
So you lose weight, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, when you put yourself on a plan. And what might a plan look like? Like, give me a typical plan.
Look, I have Hashimoto's, so my doctor said, ditch the carbs, ditch the sugar. It'll be good for your body. It'll get your levels down, all of that sort of stuff. So, and I'm okay with that. I can do that, and I feel great after a week or so. So that's probably what a plan looks like. The plan comes off when often I'm not organized, or we run out of groceries, or, life gets busy and you need to get something takeout for dinner or whatever. That's when it sort of goes pear-shaped, Mark.
So when were you diagnosed with Hashimoto's?
I've had it for a few years. Yeah, and I'm still got to try and get it right.
So what are some of the symptoms for you?
Just get really tired.
Yes.
Get really tired. I just have to keep an eye on my thyroid, that because there's some nodules there and whatever. So I find fatigue, and I do get inflammation. I get sore. I'm not much. Exercise is hard.
Do you tend to turn to food to just emotionally eat, or if you're bored, or if you're anxious?
I don't feel like I do. I tend to let myself get really, like, I let myself go, and I don't organize myself well. And then I wait till I'm absolutely starving, and I think, oh, what am I going to eat? Like, I sort of let things get to the point of no return, and then I just get anything. I think that's.
Why do you think you do that?
I don't know. I put a lot of energy into organizing, make sure the house is clean, the washing's up to date, the kids are good, ready for work. I do a lot of study as well, for myself and for my profession. I probably preference those things over the the other stuff. And I'm also, I'm not anymore, but I was teaching cooking, and I was making food decisions for 500 kids every week about what we're going to cook and make. And to be honest, Mark, by the end of it, you just get over food decisions.
Yes, yes. Are you still teaching cooking?
I've only got one class now, so it's not as bad, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of like food decision fatigue. I just don't want to have to deal with this. I don't have to think about it. Probably be nice if you could have a mother there just laying out all the meals and cooking them and making good
Oh,
food.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could easily live in the boarding house and just let it all happen.
Right. How old are your
And I
kids?
don't cook for pleasure anymore. Like, I used to enjoy cooking, and I used to cook for pleasure, and I'm just over it too.
So if you were going to lose weight right now, if you said, okay, I want to lose 20, 30, 40 kilos, what would you tell yourself? Here's what we're going to do.
Yeah, well, I'd probably do the whole 3 meals a day thing. Knock off the carbs, knock out the sugar, and that would be it. And that would probably work.
Really, would it?
Well, I think so. Yeah, it does work when I do it. Physiologically, it's great because I'm not hungry. I feel good. My body feels good. So physiologically, when I'm doing that, I feel good. Psychologically, I don't know, 3 months in, something happens and wheels fall off. And I think, it's not, I can't identify any bad feelings or emotions with it. It's just, I give up.
Yes. So when you do lose weight, how do you feel? What do you tell yourself? Let's say if you're doing your good plan and you're doing it and you lose 10 or 20 kilos, what do you tell yourself when you weigh yourself, or when you look in the mirror, do you go, oh, wow, this is really great. I'm loving this. I feel good.
Yeah, I probably think, oh, this is working. I'm getting there, that sort of thing. But I've never actually got there totally. Like, I think I don't actually know what it feels like to feel free, in terms of thinking, all right, yes, now I can start buying some really nice clothes that will last me for a long time. And, like I can think back to 2 winters ago when I was still thinking the same thing. I won't buy really nice clothes this winter. I'll wait till I've lost a bit more weight.
So there's a part of you that wants to lose the weight. And part of you, it sounds like that doesn't want to have to do all this work.
Yeah, I give up. I can't be bothered.
Yeah, yeah.
Terrible. Sorry.
No, it's a certain amount of work. It's a certain amount of work, especially when you have Hashimoto's, and especially when okay, these are the foods that make me feel better. And these are the foods that help me move towards a weight that I prefer. And yeah, if there's one little thing that happens, something, you don't have the right foods, or maybe you end up eating some carbs or some sugar, then kind of things get thrown out the window. And you're off the plan.
Yep. And then it starts again. Oh, I'll start tomorrow. That's all right. May as well go for it now.
Yeah.
All
So,
those things.
that's a pretty, weirdly enough, Raelene, that's a common cycle that people go through. It's the all or nothing eater in us. And the all or nothing eater in us means I'm either on my diet, I'm doing everything right, I'm making it all happen, I'm following the rules, I'm following the plan. So I'm either on it or go to the opposite. I'm off it. And usually the part of us that wants to go off it is the part of us that's just, I don't want to do this. It's too much. And it's usually the part of us that's more rebellious, and or the part of us that's more like a kid. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Mommy, I don't want to do this. This is too hard. Let's have some fun. Or like, screw it. Enough already. I just want to eat whatever I want. Like, don't tell me what to eat.
Yes.
Yes. That's when you identify with. Yeah. Yeah. So you have the rebel in you. There's the part of you that shows up and says, don't tell me what to eat. I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to have fun. I want to rebel. Teenagers rebel. So it's sort of like the adult in you, the 45-year-old in you says, okay, I want to stick to the plan. And it's the 15-year-old that pops in and says, nope, we're doing whatever we want to do. So I think at the end of the day, to shift that, we have to get more in touch with that voice in us that wants to be the rebellious teenager. Because, on the one hand, it's good to have a rebellious teenager in you. It's fun. And the rebel in us is good. The rebel in us is the part of us that's more out there, that's more outrageous, that's willing to break the rules, that's willing to break rules that don't work, that's willing to stand up to injustice and silly things or dumb things. Yeah. So the rebel in us likes to have something to rebel against.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so rebel's not bad. The problem is the rebel is rebelling against food rules for you. So it's getting to know that part of you. Let me ask you this. How else does that rebel part of you show up in your life, or how has it shown up in your life? Like, how else are you a rebel, or have you been rebellious?
Oh, possibly in my profession. I mean, I've been in advocacy for, the teaching profession. I've often stood up with an alternative idea on how things need to be for the betterment of students and that sort of thing. So not in a bad way, like not in an aggressive way or anything like that, but I've been a professional. I've represented on committees and that sort of thing where I've had to be the voice of advocacy for teachers and teaching, and there's things like that. I can use it for a good way as well.
Yes. Yeah. I just want to mention to you, like just me talking to you and me observing you, when you were talking about the rebel part of you relative to your profession, you were just like really on it and just like more clear and more serious, not in a bad way, but just like this is how my rebel shows up. when you were talking about your rebellious nature around food, you just had a big smile on your face the whole time. And it's just, there's a part of us that loves breaking the rules, especially when it's a food rule. Because in a lot of ways, food rules were the first rules that we could break as a young person. And it's a way to control the older people around us. Like, you know, because essentially the older people around you are the people who are telling you, you need to lose this weight. You need to look different. And everybody figures out, well, in order for me to lose the weight, I have to eat less food. I have to eat these specific foods. And yeah, there's a part of us that wants to do what the big people tell us to do what the older people tell us to do. But there's another part of us that just wants to rebel, like, leave me alone.
Do you know, Mark, when you say that, I can think back to two distinct experiences I've had. I remember marching into a Weight Watchers office, and you know, when your parent has to sign because you're underage. And I remember sitting in that meeting thinking, what's all this about? And then I remember, I think my mum got me, you know, like light and easy delivered. And I remember of a Sunday night, which was my favorite night, having a baked dinner. I had to have my light and easy meal, but mum would let me have a baked dinner meal instead. It was like, yeah. Remember feeling like everyone else gets to eat that and I have to eat this.
Yes. So of course the rebel in you wants to say, screw this. I'm gonna eat whatever I want to eat. Like, don't tell me what to do, because you're being controlled, you're being separated, you're being ostracized, and you're being told that you have to eat this food over here, which isn't as fun. We're going to be the ones having all the fun over here. And you're the one that has to get all serious. And you're the one that's got the problem. And meanwhile,
you got to do this to win. You know, if you don't do this, you won't win.
Yes, yes, yes. So I just want to say it is perfectly reasonable for a young mind to rebel against that, because the underlying message is, we want you to be different. You're not okay. You're not lovable. Your body's unacceptable. And yeah, you'll be a winner if you lose this weight, but guess what? You're a loser if you don't lose the weight.
Yes.
Those are very difficult messages for a young mind to take in. So it makes sense to me that at this point in your life, the rebel in you pops up.
Okay.
It's the rebel that wish she could have probably screamed in the Weight Watchers office and said, this is nonsense. It's the rebel in you who probably wishes she could have screamed and said, you know, I don't want to eat this diet. I don't want to eat this food.
Yeah.
What everybody else eats.
Oh, you've hit a nerve.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's an old boo-boo, you know, that's an old hurt, because you know, if you know the teaching universe, you understand young people. Young people are sensitive. Young people are impressionable. Young people are vulnerable.
Yeah.
And we as young people are particularly vulnerable, Raelene, around our appearance, for goodness sake. Like just, we want to feel like we're okay. We want to feel like we're lovable. I want to feel like I'm attractive, especially to my parents and my family and the people that are supposed to love me.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, Mark.
Yeah. So it's almost like the message that you got is, you cannot be lovable unless you follow this diet and lose this weight. Now, here you are as an adult, and you're saying to yourself, you know, I'm gonna have a better experience if I lose weight. I'm gonna be happier. I'm gonna like myself more if I lose weight. But then that gets clouded by the old days.
Yes.
I just want to rebel against that.
You get it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is good, because we just landed right where the action is for you.
Yeah.
And this is what happens to us as human beings. You know, oftentimes when there's an insult or a hurt, at a young age, particularly around our body, we carry that hurt into the future because we didn't know how to figure it out. We didn't know how to resolve it. So there's this part of you that still believes I'm not lovable and acceptable until I lose weight. But a part of you also rebels against that because a part of you knows, like, wait a second, that's not true. The people that love you, love you. Your kids love you.
Yeah.
They're probably not going, Mommy, I'm going to love you more if you lost 20 kilos.
No.
They don't care.
No.
How does your husband feel about your weight?
Oh, he loves me.
Okay.
Not a problem.
So,
He probably fed me up and got me fat.
so the people that love you, love you. That's
Yeah.
very clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right now, I think part of it is we got to get you caught up with the rest of the people that love you and start finding a way for you to love you regardless of what you weigh. As in, so here's the thing. You can have a preference. It is fine. You're an adult. You're your own woman. You can have a preference. I like to wear certain colors. I like to wear cotton. I like to drive a certain car. I like to watch certain TV shows. Those are your preferences. I want to weigh a certain amount. That's a preference. So that's all fine. You are allowed your preference. However, when we make our preference dependent on if I don't get that preference, therefore I don't love myself. Therefore, I'm not good enough. Then that becomes problematic. Meaning, I don't know, if you prefer to wear mostly lavender and black, and all of a sudden there's no more lavender and black clothes available to buy, you're not going to say to yourself, oh, I can't love myself anymore. You're going to just go, oh, bummer, I can't have my preference.
Yes. I get it. Yeah.
So you could wish to lose weight. You could prefer to have a different size body. Nothing wrong with that. But let's not make your self-love dependent on you getting that preference. So what I'm saying is you can go about the business of losing weight if you want to.
Yeah.
But we're looking to decouple that from, and if I don't do this, therefore I'm not lovable.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the truth is, the most important people in your life love you for who you are.
Yep.
That's a fact. That's amazing. That's amazing that you have that. Not everybody has that. The most important people in your life love you for who you are, and they're not trying to change you so they can love you more.
Yeah, that's right.
You wouldn't tell your kids, I'm going to love you more if you had less body fat and more muscle.
Gosh, no.
You wouldn't think about it. You wouldn't put that on them.
Never.
So let's not put that on you.
Okay.
You see the change there?
Yeah.
So
yeah, wow.
So it's you learning to be your own guardian, your own good parent, your own good mother, and loving on yourself, even though you don't have the weight you prefer right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the weight I prefer right now, and you know something? That's okay.
Yeah, I'd never thought about it like that. That's great.
Yeah, still love myself, still okay, and still, I just might choose to go about the business of losing weight, but my self-love is not dependent on it, and other people loving me is not dependent on it, because other people have proven, the most important people, my kids, my partner, have proven to me they love me. for exactly who I am.
Yeah.
So part of it is I would like to suggest, like, at least for a few weeks, just for a few weeks, maybe even longer, but just at least for a few weeks, stop thinking about losing weight and bask in the goodness that you are loved just as you look and just as you are and just as you weigh right now. You are actually loved by other people.
Yeah. You know, I think in some ways that's why I don't like cooking anymore, because cooking just got, no, I can't cook that recipe that's got carbs, or no, I won't do that because it all just got too hard. That's why I just don't enjoy it anymore.
Because food, you were told at a young age, you were given the message that food and self-love are tied together. If you
Yeah.
control your food, you are lovable.
Yeah.
If you don't control your food, you're not lovable. That's what you were told. So that's what you believed.
Yeah.
Because we believe what we're told when we're young, especially when it comes to our lovability.
Yeah.
So now you're learning that, oh, those were not healthy messages. Parents did the best they could, teachers, whoever, people, do the best they can. They think they're helping you.
Yeah, they absolutely did. That was, without a doubt, they thought they were helping.
So now you get to turn that around.
Yeah.
And take a few weeks and just bask in, bathe in, enjoy. I'm loved for who I am. Nobody cares that these are the clothes I wear. You care, that's fine. But nobody else cares. Nobody else is wanting me to change. They love me. So really what I'm looking for you is to start to feel the love that's actually there for you, to help you start to feel it for yourself.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Mark. That's really, I've not thought of that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's so important. You're just getting caught up now to your past. And you have a very good reason every time you go off of your quote unquote plan. There's actually a good reason in there. There's a brilliant reason. The brilliant reason why you're going off of that plan is because there's a part of you that knows that this plan is actually not getting me anywhere. I lose weight, I gain it back. I lose it, I gain it back. Because the planning and the eating is being driven by, if I don't do this right, then I'm not going to be lovable. If I don't lose weight, I'm not going to be lovable. That's a lot of pressure to put on food and eating. Like, oh my God, if I eat these carbs, I'm bad. I'm not lovable. If I eat the sugar, I'm not lovable. And you eat the sugar and you go, oh, I'm not lovable. Screw it. Who cares? I'm just going to keep eating it. Because this is just too hard. Because it is hard, because it's unnatural to put that much pressure on food to make us lovable.
Yeah.
It's not the job of food to make us lovable.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
It's the job of food to nourish you and give you good nutrition and make you feel good. And hopefully give you your best health and your best energy. And yeah, it takes our participation for sure.
Yeah.
But putting all that pressure on food makes you want to rebel. And rebelling against it is a good thing because the whole system is unnatural. Forcing yourself to follow a diet so you can finally be lovable.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I say, let's just spend a couple of weeks, ideally it'd be a couple of months, just getting to know you, getting to know Raelene without the need to change anything.
I don't think I've had that ever.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's always been this little radio station playing in your mind. And this is for a lot of people, not just you. I need to change my body. I need to change my body. I need to change my body. And that is, ooh, that's a hard radio station to be listening to all day for all of our life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because basically it's saying, I'm not okay. I'm not lovable. I'm not good enough. I need to be different.
Yeah. It's
And
exhausting.
so that's why when you say, like, I don't have freedom with food, and I get confused and I think about it, because it's an impossible system that you've been given. The impossible system, again, is called, you need to control your food in a certain way so you can be lovable.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to do anything with food to be lovable. You don't need to do anything. You just need to be you. And it turns out there's people that love you.
Yeah.
So life has proven to you that you are lovable.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Life has proven it 100%. So it's up to you to start catching up with that. And the one way to catch up is to say, okay, let's just take a vacation from having to change myself. Just a vacation. You can pick it up again. You can pick up your preference. But I want you to pick up your preference to lose weight if you still have that preference a month from now, or 2 months from now, or 3 months from now. Pick it up when your life doesn't depend on it and your lovability doesn't depend on it. When it's just like, hey, you know something? I want to have more turquoise clothing, you know?
Yeah.
Let's go get some. You know something? I want to lose a few kilos. Let me start to tweak my diet. And you're doing it from a place of empowerment.
Yeah.
And a place of owning your preference, if that's indeed your preference. I don't even know if that's your preference.
I don't know
Right?
either.
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe it is, maybe it
I'll
isn't.
see.
We don't know, but you first have to experience you without the need to change you physically.
Yeah. That's magnificent, Mark. That's really, yeah, you've just nailed that. Thank you. I didn't even think of that. My gosh.
It's so good because it allows you to just start to be you. And we often have this inner committee that we're trying to please. There's this invisible committee living in our head that we're trying to be a good boy or a good girl for that committee so they approve of us.
Yes. Yeah.
Are your
And
parents still?
I guess that leads to a lot of areas of my life, like professionally, we're always going for more, going for better, it's always that striving.
Yes. And striving is good when it's good. And there's also a time to just be you.
Yeah.
Particularly as it relates to, here's me, here's my body. This doesn't have to change for me to be lovable. Period. I'm already loved.
Yeah.
You're there. I speak to so many people over the years, so many women who don't have a relationship in their life, or might not have kids, or might not have love in their life, and they really want that more than anything. And then they think, well, if I can only lose weight, then I can have that love in my life. Because then somebody will love me because I lost weight.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
You have a version of that. You already have love in your life, but you're trying to please the committee in your head, and you're trying to please you.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is just relax those requirements and just say, time out. Just we're taking a time out.
Yeah.
Just a
Okay.
little time out. And then start to learn about who you are as an eater. Because if you're not going to be eating to lose weight, and you're not eating to be on a plan, you're eating because you're a human being who needs to eat. So then you can start to notice what you really, what's important to you naturally in your relationship with food.
Okay.
You know, maybe it's like, right now, I just want foods that are more convenient because I've been doing so much cooking. That's fair. I just want to make things that I can make fast. That's totally fair. I just want to cook one special meal a week. That's fair. But just see what shows up.
Okay.
You know something? I feel better when I don't eat carbs and sugar, but you know something? I really want to eat some carbs and sugar. Huh. How can I do that? Is that possible? I don't know, but it doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a middle ground in there.
I think I'm going to have to work really hard on that middle ground.
But the way you set yourself up for success with that work is to take weight loss off the table for now.
Yeah.
And just get to know who is Raelene as an eater. Like
That makes a lot of sense. Mark. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense to me because I have no idea who I am as an eater.
Yes.
Really. I don't. I'm so out of tune with my appetite, my taste buds, I can't even be bothered getting groceries in the house most of the time.
Yeah, because you're exhausted from the conversation, from the inner conversation that has wrapped up food with your self-worth.
Yeah.
That's a terrible, exhausting conversation because it's illogical, it's nonsensical, and it hurts. It's a conversation that hurts us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's painful. So if we eliminate that conversation, just like, okay, food is not about weight loss. Food is about eating because I'm a human being. I'm like every other creature on planet Earth. We need some kind of food.
Yeah. See, I always just wish my hunger would go away.
Yeah.
That's crazy, I know, but I think, why am I hungry again?
Yeah. So now let's start welcoming hunger. Great, because hungry means you're alive.
Yeah.
Hungry means you ain't dying.
For me, it was always a character flaw.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because it's not.
No.
but thanks for acknowledging that thought, that toxic belief was you inherited that from the world. You didn't invent that. The world gave you that. Like, oh, you need to lose weight. Well, why do you have extra weight? Well, because you eat. And why do you eat? Well, because you have an appetite and you're hungry and you need food. So therefore, hunger is a character flaw. That's the logical conclusion that any young person would make given all that input. I'm not lovable. I'm not okay. I'd be a winner. If I lost this weight, how does this weight come on there? I eat food. Why do I eat food? Because I'm hungry. Hunger bad.
Yeah. And
So
then you get told, surely you're not hungry again.
Yeah. So every time you get hungry, you think, oh, here's that character flaw showing up again.
I do.
Yeah. So this time, consider every time you're hungry, saying, thank you, Lord, because I'm still alive. Dead people don't eat, as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
You want to be around for your family. Maybe you want to be around to see your grandkids. So you want to be an eater. You want to have an appetite. You want to keep surviving. You want to keep thriving.
Yeah.
And in a strange way, this is you giving yourself permission to join everybody else. You don't have to be isolated anymore, because you were isolated when you were young around food.
Yes.
Join the rest of us. We all eat. We all get hungry. What's for dinner?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Thank you, Mark. That's great. I like that idea of joining everybody else.
Yeah, you're part of
I
the
don't
club.
special meal.
Yeah. And getting to know yourself as an eater is just, it's part of that's scary, because like you said, you've never been able to do that before, because eating has always been defined for you because of how you were raised, how you were programmed, how you were conditioned. Eating was defined for you as kind of a crime. It's a little bit of a crime. And so we're going to punish you by making you eat in a very specific way that's not so fun, that isolates you. Here you're going to be in food prison over here. The prisoners eat this. The free people eat that.
Yeah. Yep. I
So
had Jenny Craig in my lunchbox in year 6. It was embarrassing. I think back now, I still remember it. I still remember being embarrassed about the packet saying Jenny Craig in my lunchbox and hiding what I was eating. Like it just, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you rebel against meal plans, because the rebel in you, which is a good part of you, says, this is nonsense. I can't do this. The rebel in you is not smart enough to say, and here's why I'm rebelling.
Yeah.
It just knows to rebel. It just knows this is no good.
Yeah.
But then you think, oh my God, I don't have enough willpower. I just can't control myself. I just get off my plan. That means there's a problem. No, it means actually you're smart, because you're rebelling against something that actually doesn't work and is a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah. That's...
So all that time that you thought you were being weak, there's a part of you that was just screaming, no, we need to say no to this. This is not good for me. So you were right.
Wow. Mark, that's spot on. That's amazing. Yeah.
So you were truly right. So every time you've rebelled, it's not been a sign of weakness. It's a voice in you that was just raising her hand and going, no, no. But that voice wasn't, just hasn't been aware enough and awake enough to understand exactly what it's rebelling against. Now you know.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Because that's the thing. I think, oh, gosh, I'm smart in this area. I can do that. Why can't I get this? Why can't I just fix this? Yeah, that's just amazing. Thank you so much. You've
And, you know, so connected to all of this is really getting for yourself that you don't need to apologize for your body. You know, you don't need to apologize for to the committee in your mind. You don't need to apologize for what you eat. Nobody in your world is asking for an apology from you for how much you weigh or what you eat. Nobody wants that from you.
No.
So this is your time in life to just learn who you are as an eater.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be fresh. It's all going to be new.
That's cool. That's really cool, Mark.
Yeah, to spend some time. It's just you enjoying your body and not having to change it, enjoying not having to change it. And just hanging out there for a while. And when you're ready, if you prefer to lose weight, then you'll be a different person when it comes to following a plan, because you're not going to need to rebel against it, because you're not going to be looking to lose weight so you can be more lovable. You'd be looking to lose weight because that's your preference.
Yeah.
I like cold weather. I like certain music. That's your preference. So you want to enjoy your preference. As opposed to, if I don't get this, I'm going to die. If I don't lose this weight, I'm not going to be lovable. Then that makes us crazy.
Yep. Wonderful. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. I wished I knew you years ago. That's okay. I know now.
Yeah, the good news is it's never too late to change,
No, that's amazing, Mark. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're so welcome. I don't know how much you share with your husband, but it might be interesting to just kind of share what you learned here, and just to feel you're getting support. And
yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good journey for you from here on in.
Yeah, I certainly feel like it will be, Mark. You've blown my mind, and there's things in there that I would never have picked up if I hadn't had you. So thank you so much. That's amazing. You're incredible.
Well, I'm so glad we got to do this together. We are in a conversation that matters, and you really opened up and shared about your journey and your story, and it just always amazes me how our relationship with like food and body can be so powerful, and can be something that holds us back in certain ways. And once we turn it around, our relationship with food and body can help us start to be our best self. Once we kind of learn the lessons it's trying to teach us.
Yeah.
So you're just learning how to own your body and how to let go of old voices and old conditioning, and love what you got, and see the proof that your body is lovable and that you're lovable, because the proof lives in your life. It's there.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
Raelene, great work.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. That's amazing.
Well,
I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to work and I'm just going to be amazed.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Well, I feel really good. Thanks for taking the time with us.
Thank you, Mark. You're life-changing. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. Take care, everybody.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care, and remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.